of three gunas. Because of three gunas, the mind is is divided into chitta consists of five bhumis. Five bhumis. What are the bhumis? Chipta, first one. Chitta means restless mind, which belongs to Rajoguna. Muda, infatuated mind, it is Tamoguna. Third one is Vikshipta, distracted mind, Rajoguna and Sattva combined together. Fourth is Ekagra, a mind which is one pointed, Sattva. But it is not enough you have Ekagra. You should go beyond that. That is Nirudha, arrested mind. All gunas are abstracted. A no mind state or bhavana. Finally, we have to achieve this state in the chitta, Nirudha. We go to the number 2 and number 3 sutras in Samadhipada. They are wonderful sutras which sum up the entire yoga. Nothing more is necessary if you understand these two sutras. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. Yoga is control of the modifications of the mind by which one establishes oneself in oneself. This is the sum total of yoga, and there is nothing else. Nothing else. Now, we have to know something about vrittis. The vritti is the way in which our whole being reacts to the atmosphere outside. That is not all. Not only we react, but we interpret things in our own way. Then that becomes a vritti in the mind. Go to fourth sutra, vritti swarupyam itaratra. If you are not controlling the vrittis, what is the result? The result is vritti swarupyam itaratra. You will get drunk, you will get drenched in the vrittis, assimilation of the seer with the modification of the mind. You cannot come out of the vrittis. So therefore, the first two sutras are necessary to control the vrittis, modify. How to do that, he will explain in the remaining sutras. He says there are vrittaya, there are five klishta vrittis. He divides the vrittis in two types: klishta vrittis and aklishta vrittis. Klishta vritti means acute, severe, and sudden, then and there. Immediate effect is klishta vrittis. They are painful. Aklishta vrittis are non-pain giving. What are they? We'll discuss first the aklishta vrittis, the non-painful. So be careful when I discuss with the non-painful, but they are vrittis. Why? These are chronic, ongoing vrittis are non-painful. That is aklishta vrittis. First one is pramana or right knowledge. So you are aware of things in three ways: perception, that is direct sensory contact; inference; and verbal testimony. Three ways the pramana works. But are they true? Are they true? Perception, direct sensory contact, whatever you see with the senses may not be true. I will explain to you. Suppose you are seeing, I am wearing, this is a shirt. If you go a little beyond that, it is a cloth. Little beyond that, it is composed of threads, cotton threads. And if you go much beyond that, it is nothing but cotton. And beyond that, it is nothing but glucose. And finally, there is nothing but energy. You are not seeing the energy. You are seeing the shirt. So therefore, direct sensory contact is also not real. Inference, you see smoke and in for there is fire. There may be fire, there may not be fire. And verbal testimony. So, some Shastra, you books read, or somebody says that one elephant is in the nearby fields. We believe because somebody says. Like that, these are also vrittis. These are also non-painful vrittis. So, that is the first pramana. Go to second, viparyaya. Wrong perception or erroneous understanding, mistaking of one thing for another. How it happens? A rope in twilight is mistaken as a snake. Okay. Then what happens? Now you will be shocked to learn there are people who died of a rope bite, thinking that it is a snake. They were afraid, they got heart attack and they died. It was simply a rope, not a snake. So this vritti is so dangerous, viparyaya. Then vikalpa, doubt. When we are not certain about a thing, is seeing a person or an electric pole, or some people think that a electric pole looks like a devil and they get afraid. Whether something moving or not moving, the perception is not being clear. That is called vikalpa or doubt. Next one is nidra, sleep. You remain ignorant. So a person, they say, a person, an idiot goes to sleep, and when he is awake also he is an idiot. So like that, nidra is like that. And smriti is memory, last one, remembrance of past events. And this is a very time waster. Eats away entire time and energy. All the time will go away. There are two powerful things which are given to our mind, which are we are wasting. Past is to learn from the past. What we do, we worry about what has happened in the past. 50% of time is gone. And future, what is going to happen in future? That is given for imagination, not for getting afraid of what is going to happen. So this way, the memory, instead of a boon to us, it has become a bane for us. Bane for us. Now, Klishta Vrittis, there are also 5. They are acute and severe. First one is avidya. Avidya is nothing but ajnana, a condition in which one forgets the reality, understands non-eternal or eternal, dukkha and as sukha, and anatman as atman. Root cause of all other 4 vrittis in Krishna vrittis is avidya. So next one is asmita or self-assertion. Why? Asmita is nothing but ego. They clash with others. When I say I am great, you clash with others. This is called asmita, and this comes from avidya. The third one is raga, liking certain things and forget the purpose of a thing. You like something and you are always thrashed by it all the time, liking. Then immediately its friend is there, dvesha, dislike of certain things. Both will toss the mind. Like also tosses the mind, dislike also tosses the mind. And this way, it is a pendulum. Pendulum goes dislikes and dislikes. It never comes into the central, where we can be peacefully live. Then last one is abhinivesha, desire for life or fear about horror of death. This is very funny. Every one of us know that we cannot live here forever. Sometime or the other we will die. Tomorrow also we don't know. But people are afraid of death all the time and waste their time. This is a vritti which causes lot of damage to our mind. Then we go to the sutra number 12, Abhyasa Vairagyam Tan Nirodha. Patanjali says the solution for the vrittis. He gives a lot of solutions in Samadhipada. Patanjali says Abhyasa and Vairagya should go together to stop vrittis. How to do that Abhyasa? So, 13 Sutra he gives exertion to acquire a tranquil state of mind devoid of fluctuations. That is called Abhyasa. This is nothing but practice, practice, practice. With practice, we can control vrittis. Then, Vairagya, a conscious mastery of control of desire for objects. So, we should know what is the purpose of these desires. When desires come, they cause vrittis. So, Vairagya helps us to, to stop these vrittis. So, Patanjali says Abhyasa and Vairagya, they stop these vrittis. That is one method. Then, what to do, how to do this practice? Not temporary. Dirghakala Nairantarya Satkara Asavita Druda Bhumi. The Dirghakala, what is Dirghakala? Dirghakali is a protracted period of practice. Protracted, continuous practice. Now, long time practice. Second one is Nairantarya is a practice without remission of effort. Continue long time. Third one is that we must have great love for it. If we don't love a thing we do, then we cannot do that thing. So finally, in this sutra, we should learn circumstances adjust themselves mysteriously when there is persistence in the practice. So finally, we have to persist doing a thing. Then only we can stop these vrittis. So this is the procedure, he says. Then another condition he gives is Tivra Samveganam Asanaha, 21 Sutra. What is Tivra? It is asana accessible when our involvement in life is with intensity. Tivra means intensity. And Samveganam, that is enthusiasm. These both things are necessary if you want to achieve your objective, not only in yoga, but any work you do, Tivra Samveganam is there, you will achieve your aim or target. So this should be our attitude. Then he gives another method. One of the methods he says is 23, Ishvara Pranidhanata Va. So surrender to God is one of the methods. The modifications of the mind, the vrittis in respect of objects, should cease spontaneously when they're all focused towards the direction of the God. This is a very simple sutra, but it takes time for us to understand how to surrender to God. We should learn this. The Guru will tell you. Then, so another sutra, 27, he says, Pranava or Omkara, God is represented by this Pranava or Omkara. So this is another method. Omkara is one of the best connotations of God's characteristics, and God is most effectively invoked in this divine symbol or mark. So one thing we have to learn is Omkara involves a operation of the entire vocal organ. Whole apparatus is set in motion, right from the root up to the topmost of the vocal organ, it vibrates. In fact, it is told by scientists that Omkara Nada is observed from the sun. NASA scientists have discovered the noise, the sound comes from the sun is Omkara. So with a concentrated feeling, if you listen inside, you will also hear the Omkaranada from inside. Now, so I will just share one thing here. We conduct a 7-day program on Omkara Dhyana, which transforms a person completely in 7 days. It is called scientific spirituality, which our Guru Yogi Protoplasm used to teach us. Now we conduct this 7 days program. This is scientific spirituality with Omkara, nothing else. So Patanjali is great about suggesting this method. Then we go to uh, next one. This there are some antaryayas or obstacles, vikshepas we call it. When we try to do any good thing, there will be obstacles. Similarly, in doing yoga also, you will face, he says, 9 obstacles. This I will just read out because everyone knows about this. Just read out the obstacles. Vyadhi, first one, that illness. If anybody is ill, you cannot do anything. Dhyana or mood of despondency. Samchaya, a kind of doubt. Pramada, heedlessness or carelessness. Alasya, it is a kind of lethargy in the whole system. Avirati, sensual excitement which paralyzes the person. Bhranti darshana, illusion by which one thinks one is progressing whereas he is falling down. Alabdha bhaumikatva, losing the ground, which is an obstacle. You go 1 yard, 3 feet above and 4 feet down. Like that, alabdha bhaumikatva. Lastly, anavastitva, the lack of ability to find out the point of concentration. Once you lose it, you cannot get back. These are all the 9 obstacles which we are cautioned by Patanjali Maharshi. These are the major obstacles. There may be many, but these are the major obstacles. Then there are some accompaniments, sahabuvas, the 5, there are 4, dukkha, they accompany the obstacles. A sense of internal grief, daurmanasya, emotional depression, one becomes melancholy. Angame jayatva, nervousness. And lastly, swasa praswasa, uneven flow of the prana, irregular and unrhythmic inhalation, exhalation, disturb the nervous system, indirectly the mind. This you notice whenever you are under tension, the swasa gets disturbed. It is uneven. But once you do the anuloma viloma pranayam, it corrects the tension. This way, swasa praswasa is also one of the sahabahus or accompaniments when these follow the 9 obstacles. Now, so he gives Patanjali gives one good solution in 32. One reality or one objective, one target. Abhyasa is a practice. It is repeating or resorting to one concept or one truth. That is nothing but concentration on a single point. This we know when we do the Trataka. Trataka we do in yoga. Trataka on sun, Trataka on a candle, like that. This is one-pointedness. So this one-pointedness brings calmness to the distracted mind. That is why he says in 32 Sutra. Then next one, he gives a stage of a person who can be very cool and calm and also undisturbed. Then attitude, he says an attitude is there. Maitri, to the happy person, we should show friendliness. What we do, if somebody is happy, we get jealous. No, we should enjoy along with them. Second one is karuna. If somebody is grieved, you should show pity to them and don't say it has to happened to this person is a bad person, but show karuna to him. Mudita, we have to be happy with when we meet a good person, not one of jealousy. So last one is upeksha, indifference towards undesirable element. There are always undesirable elements, people who disturb us, people, they say good, bad, and ugly. Good, bad, and ugly people are also there. You just indiffer, don't worry about them. So the fourth disturbance to the due to external causes or presence of certain persons. So this is one attitude he has told us in this sutra. Then he suggests another method in the Sutra number 34. By the expiration and retention of breath, mind may be calmed. This is what I was telling Anulom Vilom Pranayam. You can bring down the mind indirectly. Though we cannot control the mind directly, indirectly through swasa, through pranayama, we can we can control the mind. The method of breathing that Patanjali prescribes to bring peace to the mind is to breathe out, exhale very deeply, and hold the breath in the manner of an external kumbhaka. So this is one method. And then he goes on in 35 Sutra. A very interesting instruction is contained in this Sutra. Mind can be tied, Nibandhani, Sthiti Nibandhani call it. Mind can be tied down to concentration even by thinking of an object which a person loves most. Yeah, this is what people who enjoys their work or who have some good hobby, they are peaceful always. The thought of object sits internal centers and concentration. Now, it is a peculiar state of mind which has reference to an object. The center of sensation may be made the object of concentration. So, which means you should find a thing which you love most and spend more time on that. Not only that, even I advise in my personality development programs, either you choose a job of your choice, or if you are unfortunate not to get the job you want or you love most, now do love the job you do now. That is also in our hands. So suppose you wanted to become a doctor, but you have become an engineer. No, don't worry about not becoming a doctor. Now enjoy this engineering. Now there are several people who do medical engineering. Earlier they are interested in doctor, but now they are engineers. But somehow they get into the medical field by doing the medical technology. I think you understand what is medical technology. In Sutta number 42, he says, Savitarka Samapatti. Our idea of the object is the abstraction to our union with the object. What is our idea? When we see a thing, we say, this is good object, this is bad. It is only an idea. The object itself doesn't say, I am good, I am bad. There nowhere it is written. It is our own attitude. So, which the idea, here he calls it idea. This idea is our own. We can change the idea and we can get rid of this vritti. Then what is Nirvitarka, he says in 43, is a second stage in meditation. Savitarka is the first stage. Ordinarily, Nirvitarka cannot be reached as long as the memory is not purified. So memory of the past are not ordinary obstacles. Not ordinary obstacles. I told you 50% of your time goes in thinking about the past, never in the present. And rest 50% goes about the fear of future. Then where is the present? Where is the time for you to do certain things in present? So the purification of the mind by purging of all the impurities in the past memories has to be done with tremendous effort, abhyasa. Yeah, that is necessary. So then comes the 48 Sutra Ritambara Prajna. Rita is truth, Bara is filled with Ritambara. Tatra means there. Consciousness or mind is filled to overflowing with the nature of truth. In this experience of truth of things, the mind rests in its own nature. So what is this? If you if you go beyond the mind and get into your own awareness, that is consciousness, the mind rests there. Tada drashtu swarupena avasthanam. That is what is said in the beginning. So the mind rests in consciousness. The last one which I am discussing in Samadhi Pada is 51, Nirbija Samadhi. Nirbija Samadhi is resting of consciousness in its own self. Again, he says how to do it. So, this condition, when even the consciousness of the universe as an object is not there anymore. So, you are not recognizing the universe, you are away from the universe. There is no object. The consciousness does not know any object. What is known by consciousness now is its own self, not somebody else, not even the cosmos. This condition is known as Nirbija Samadhi. The Samadhi Pada is a very important pada or important chapter in Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Entire essence of Patanjali Yoga, Patanjali has said in Samadhi Pada. Now we go to the second pada, that is Sadhana Pada. Sadhana Pada, Patanjali gives in the first sutra itself, that is Kriya Yoga. What is the Kriya Yoga? Combining Tapa, Swadhyaya, and Ishvara Pranidhana. Tapa is the restraint of senses. Swadhyaya is a deep study of scriptures. And Ishvara Pranidhana, constant remembrance of God. This is a Kriya Yoga. It is a important sadhana by itself. Threefold effort. So, with all these three combined together, you can get rid of vrittis. Finally, what is he aiming at? He wants us to get rid of our vrittis in so many ways. And then he goes to our famous or our normal used. Everybody knows this Ashtanga Yoga that starts here. That is Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Ashtanga Yoga. So here I don't want to give the details because every one of you is an expert on these yamas or niyamas. Yamas are nothing but social restraints which govern social equation of an individual. And niyamas are regarded as the foundation of yoga, which is a personal discipline. So I just read out Ahimsa, Satya, Brahmacharya, Asteya, Aparigraha, Yama. Niyama, Saucha, Santosha, Tapaha, Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhana, Niyamas. Observances which govern personal equation of an individual. Yamas are equations with the society. Then we go to the third anga of Ashtanga Yoga, Asanam. He gives an excellent, beautiful definition of asana. Nothing else is necessary. Sthiram Sukham Asanam. Sthiram Sukham, that which is fixed and is comfortable, is a posture. He has not given a number of postures like Hatha Yoga. See, then because that concentration of the mind is the intention. In asana, you have to sit erect and it brings you concentration. Then it also should be effortless. you should not become so tense in sitting. Prayatna Saitalya. So it should be the practice, effortlessness should be the practice of asana, not doing a lot of gymnastics. They are not suggested. Then 48 Sutra, he gives Dvanda, the pair of opposites can be obviated by mastery over the asana. Because you sit steady and acquire equanimity, the dvandva, pair of opposites will go away. What are dvandvas? Likes, dislikes, sukha, dukkha. Like that, there are dvandvas. So these dvandvas also can be controlled by sitting in asana. Then he goes to fourth step pranayama. Prana is nothing but an energy, something like an electric force, we may say, but situated in the astral system, in the Sushma Sarira. Our health, our strength, and to some extent our peace of mind is also dependent upon the nature of prana's movement outside. Harmonious movement of prana gives us excellent energy. In fact, I tell many people, you get more energy with pranayama than the food you eat. You can observe. Your strength can be increased by doing proper pranayama every day. So then, it is a single energy, but appears to be diverse in the functions. So that's why we say we divide prana into 5 types: prana, apana, samana, udana, vyana. So then there are upapranas. This is the names are given for the function the prana does in various places. Similar way, there are upapranas: Naga, Korma, Krikara, Devadatta, Dhananjaya, upapranas. So finally, the essence of prana is activity. It is prana that makes the heart beat, the lungs function, and the stomach secrete juices. Neither the breathing nor the lung function ceases till death. The prana never goes to sleep. We sleep, but prana never goes to sleep. As the heart never stops beating. So the prana is regarded as the watchman of our body. Then we go to Sutra number 50. External or internal or suppressed modification is regulated by place, time, and number. It becomes progressively prolonged and subtle. So this is a sutra which tells it is regulated, external or internal, whatever modification or suppressed modification, it can be regulated desha, kala, samchya, paradishta, dirgha, sukshmaha. Then comes 51, bahya, abhyantara, vishaya, akshepi, chaturda. Chaturda means fourth. The pranayama which goes beyond the sphere of internal and external is a fourth variety. Patanjali gives lot of preference this fourth type, which we call kevala kumbhaka. It is nothing but sudden retention of the breath without attention being paid either to inhalation or exhalation. This happens, this happens when you see a thing, dangerous thing. Suppose you come across a snake, suddenly your breath stops. You don't do anything, this stops. In a similar way, when you are enjoying a beautiful incident in a picture or somewhere, you just stop your breath. In either in happiness or in danger, this happens, this Kevala Kumbhaka, but we can practice it. We can practice it because Patanjali says this is very important. Then goes to the fifth one, Pratyahara or abstraction. What does it say in Sutra number 54? It is the withdrawal of the sense powers from their respective objects. So here, the starting point of Antaranga Yoga, it's not part of Antaranga Yoga. where this inner circle of yoga begins. So, withdrawal of sense powers. The senses release the energy along different channels of activity. That is how seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, and tasting. As long as we see the particular with indriyas or senses, we cannot go to the universal. That is why pratyahara is very important to bring back the mind from the outward atmosphere. Fully withdrawn from the objects, become one with the mind. So when you are graduating in pratyahara, then you go to the next one, dharana, that is concentration. It comes in vibhuti pada. Vibhuti pada. The last three stages of Antaranga of the Ashtanga Yoga is called Antaranga Yoga, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. The tying of the mind to a particular spot is called concentration, Dharana, because concentration is a process by which we break the knot of the mind. So there should be a proper mood in the mind to sit for concentration. So the first one is concentration in Antaranga Yoga, and second is keeping the mind in the same place for a long time. That is called dharana, and dhyana in Antaranga Yoga is when the mind is fixed in dharana in only one chitta vritti continuously without a break. There will be chitta vritti, but it is only one. It becomes dhyana. Meditation is an onrush of the soul towards that. Dhyana is total thinking. It is not partial thinking. All thoughts have been brought together to a completedness as a focus. So, the automatic lifting of ourselves beyond ourselves itself is a concentration and meditation. Then samadhi. What is samadhi? The movement of our wholesome, soulful individually towards the object of meditation is dhyana. Continuity of the flow. There is no break in the flow in samadhi. So the last stage of Ashtanga Yoga is samadhi. The union or the coming together, it in utter communion between the seer and the seen is the aim of meditation or dhyana. So then comes in the next stage, samyama, sutra number 4. All three put together, dharana, dhyana, samadhi is termed as samyama. So samyama is the union of oneself with that on which one is doing samyama. So in samyama, we are not contacting anything, nor are we going to establish any relationship with anything. We are going to become that thing. So again, the next sutra says, even these three, which are the internal aspects of yoga, are really external compared to the last stage of yoga, which is called nirbija state, nirbijasya. So the next sutra says, nirodha parinama. Nirodha parinama is that parinama or transform which is equivalent to the suppression of the vrittis which are distracting in nature. This is all repetition of sadhana pada, samadhi pada. Then comes avastha parinama yakta. The variety of things that we see in this world is the last shape that is taken by the prakriti, where you say dharma lakshmana lakshana avastha. Dharma lakshana avastha. This true state of affairs is that any particular form that is visible or tangible in any other manner to the senses is the representation of a particular condition or avastha prakriti. So this is the what he says in Dharma Lakshana Avastha. And the last sutra, which I mentioned in the Vibhuti Pada, is Kaivalya. Kaivalya arises when there is equanimity of the structural character of Sattva and the Purusha. Sattva means the mind, and Purusha is the conscious. The two, then the one does not remain as the object of the other. They become two. Consciousness infinity enters into experience. The experience and consciousness become one. This is called Kaivalya or Moksha. So third Vibhuti Pada is over. We'll spend some time on Kaivalya Pada, the last Pada. Kaivalya Pada, he mentions in the first sutra about siddhis or accompaniments which may be attained by birth. So these can be attained by birth itself. That's why there are children who are whiz kids, they call it, through the use of some medicines or some mantras or self-discipline or samadhi. Siddhis, I don't want to discuss more about Siddhis. I will read out, but there's one important thing told by Swami Vivekananda about Siddhis. The Siddhis are Anima, Mahima, Garima, Lagima, Prapti, Prakamya, Ishitva, Vasitva. So they're all Siddhis are perfections. But Swami Vivekananda was asked by somebody teasingly, Swamiji, you are a great Swamiji, but have you learnt any one Siddhi? He said, he just laughed at. See, I'm telling you about one Siddhi. Some people walk on water. That is a Siddhi. I can get a Siddhi by doing tapas for 10 years. But what I can do is, by spending 1 rupee, the boatman will cross me from this side to the other side. Why should I learn the Siddhi for 10 years just for 1 rupee? I don't want to waste my time in Siddhis. So what he says is, Siddhis are not necessary for even Patanjali Maharshi also cautions us. So it can be, let us not worry about acquiring Siddhis. Then Vastu Tattvam in 14th Sutra, the substantiality of an object is an illusion, ultimately speaking. It is not substance that we are contacting through senses. It is a kind of reaction produced by the gunas. Everybody's perception is different, the reaction is different. I'll just take another 5 minutes and close. The 18th Sutra, he says, the Purusha who is supreme and absolute is a knower of even the vrittis of the mind. Purusha is all-knowing. That's why we should remember that we are not the mind. We have a body, we have senses, we have a mind, we have buddhi, but beyond that, there is an awareness and consciousness. That is we. That is we. The awareness is we. And so lastly, he says about Viveka Khyati, full of discrimination in the form of a continuous current in all places, in all conditions. And then Dharma Mega Samadhi is the final state of concentration. And then comes the last sutra which I am mentioning is Purushadha Surnayam. This is the last sutra. Patanjali gives a double definition of moksha or salvation. On one side, the return of the gunas of Prakriti to their original source. Moksha is return of the gunas to the Prakriti, because the gunas have come from Prakriti. They should go back to Prakriti. On the other side, the establishment of consciousness in its own nature is salvation. What he says in first sutra, Yoga Chittavutti Nirodha Tada Drashtu Swarupena Sthanam. Finally, he says that we will go back to Swarupa, and he has given all these suggestions, all these techniques for us to attain this last stage of moksha or salvation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Anyone, please? Any doubt can ask.